You guys, one night of lousy sleep can really have a ripple effect on the rest of your week.
Get a better night's rest with sleep CBD solutions from Next Evo Naturals. For up to 25% off subscription orders of $50 or more, use promo code Trash Tuesday at nextevo.com. That's NEXTEVO.com. Promo code Trash Tuesday. Thank you to our sponsor, Native. Their plastic-free deodorant is aluminum and paraben-free. It kills odor-causing bacteria and has 24-hour odor protection to keep you feeling and smelling fresh.
Guys, I'm all pits, okay?
As am
my
I.
genre.
Me too. I'm a pit princess. Go to nativedeo.com/Tuesday or use promo code Tuesday at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/Tuesday or use promo code Tuesday at checkout for 20% off your first order.
And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It's easy and affordable online therapy, and when you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/Trash Tuesday today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Trash Tuesday.
Hi, slugs. Welcome to October. I will be in Kansas City, October 7th through 8th at the Improv. I'm going to be at Skankfest. Hell yeah. I'll then be at Irvine, California, just for one night on October 20th. Then next month, you can see me in San Jose, Michigan. I'll be in Florida and a bunch of other dates. Go to annieletterman.com/shows. Can't wait to meet you, baby.
Hi, slugs. I'm back on the road this fall. I'm coming to Phoenix, San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland. Get tickets at esteronIce.com, and my new solo podcast, My Pleasure, is available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Since none of us have kids, so we don't know what this is like, and we didn't birth our fur babies.
Are you sure?
I disagree.
Yeah. Sometimes I put Randy back in my vagina and push him out just to be like, remember?
I visualize the time that I carried Donut in my womb so that like I really feel that she's my own.
Well, okay. When I first got Randy, Olivia Munn gave me this gave me this bag that she got on Amazon. It was $17.99. I was like, Olivia, I thought it was gonna be a little more expensive, but she was like, put your dog in this bag. She's like, my dog craves this bag, like because I carried him around when he's a puppy. Randy loves being in this bag, and it feels like you're pregnant with him. He's like in this little cloth bag, and it's so cute. You got to get Donut in the bag.
But we have a bag. We definitely have a bag.
But I feel like some dogs really don't take to that bag because I've bought countless bags over the years, and I have a small dog named Remy who's 12. He's really old and crusty. He's toothless. But that motherfucker just wants to be on all fours and piss on everything. He has no interest in being babied. He wants to
Imagine Esther.
But yeah, I don't think all dogs. But send me that one.
It's
Olivia Munn.
It's honestly like the cutest.
Doggy
It's like
bag.
if you go on Amazon, it's like gray and white and has like white. It has white stripes, and then it can flip inside out, and it's got like it looks like a picnic table. I don't know what that's called. Black and white. Anyway.
Annie, let me just say one upside to wrapping your sweater like this. Armpit. Look.
A little dabberino.
You have.
I used to always have like wetness on my knees because I would shove my knees up to like dry my armpits, and there'd be like deodorant on my knees.
Better.
This is sweaty girl stuff. You wouldn't understand.
You know, but I have been
armpit.
learning that you guys are way healthier because you're releasing your toxins, and mine are all just like staying inside me. And also,
they're definitely coming out somewhere else. You're leaky.
Also, like in this heat wave in LA, I've noticed that I am actually sweating more. And I look prettier. Like my face gets glowy from the sweat.
100%.
I'm jealous of you guys.
Are you the one that's allowed to decide you're getting prettier?
Here's like if when
Actually,
you
I'm the only one. I think I'm the only one.
Well, I was watching a thing where this girl did like she did, I think it was Elizabeth Taylor's makeup. It was like a TikTok, and she did she said that Elizabeth Taylor used to do her own makeup back in the day. And because there was no like setting spray or anything to make it look dewy, she would do her makeup and then she would get in the bath and let it like steam. So it's kind of like that maybe. Gives you like the dewy, sweaty look.
Very sexy.
Yeah.
Was that so boring? See, I'm not bringing the TikTok heat, guys. You guys are the TikTokers.
I know. I think that's interesting because I generally think people are prettier and stay younger longer when they live in humid weather. So it's like when I look at my aunties back home that have lived in the Philippines, difficult lives, by the way, compared to some of my family members out here, like including my mom. Even if they're older, they look younger. Their skin has been hydrated
What's
like their
their
entire life.
main-
Over here, it's so dry.
Yeah.
What do they eat the most? Like, is it fish and
Very basic stuff like fish, vegetables. Yeah, the same rice, a lot of rice. But it's so much of just being hydrated. I think like every single day.
I know my hair will stay young forever because it's oily.
Oh my God, that
Something.
picture Liz Vig took of you is so good.
With your hair
Thank
flipped
you.
back.
That is
like
so
Cute.
good.
My
Yeah.
oily hair is beautiful.
I can't believe Hulu cut your hair off like that to you years ago. That was so mean.
that
It's
was
a superpower you have.
Thank you guys, my Jew hair.
Jewish girls do have the best hair.
Yeah, I think the best mix for good hair is Jewish and Italian. Because I was hanging out with this girl who's half Jewish, half Italian, and she had my dream hair.
Was
so.
it Lady Gaga?
It w-
If you hang out with Lady Gaga and don't tell us, I will.
we missed the Lady Gaga concert. Do we have FOMO? Are we okay?
Wait, Lady Gaga follows you.
Yes. This is only because I was a super fan, and I think like whoever ran her social media in 2009 just like followed her first 1,000 fans.
Oh, this is like when Obama followed my porn star friend Asakira.
Exactly. It's meaningless, but
That's so funny.
But he did.
it's meaningless on paper, but in my heart, deep down, it's very special.
I think
We're going to get her, guys. She will be a guest.
Well, it's basically you have a direct link to her. She's going to read your stuff should you decide to send it.
I wonder how true that is, but if it
Can't
is,
be on social media, right?
we need to put our minds together.
Because I see her commenting on random TikToker
really?
stuff.
really,
I think she's reachable.
okay. This is we're manifesting this. Maybe
Should we ask the cards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Carlos, get ready to find out what these cards mean. All right. Are we going to get Lady Gaga?
Esther, you're picking.
Okay.
Are we all picking?
If hers is bad, we'll pick again. If it doesn't give us what we want.
Okay, I got the Princess of Swords.
Ooh, it looks like Gaga a little bit. It doesn't look like Helen Hunt.
It looks like David Bowie.
Looks like David Bowie.
That's one of her biggest inspirations.
Okay, Princess
Why
of
do I know
Swords.
that?
With this card in a career reading, it's time to implement new ideas and changes to the system.
Yes.
Our efforts will be rewarded. Do it. Message her.
Overtime. Okay.
Over time.
So I'll message her every day for the rest of my life until
Persistence is key.
it says it's been read. Gotta go.
It requires understanding that we are a part of a larger whole, a member of a team, Esther.
We need a fourth. What they're saying is we need a fourth host, and it's Lady Gaga.
Yeah. The chair is open for you, Miss Stephanie Germanata. We're fans of House Labs. You can come promote that here.
No, we really are. I have all the lip glosses, the lip glass. What do you call it? Okay, I have it. I swear.
Wait, so did you guys see this article? It was in Vogue about clingy girls having it right all along. So it says when it comes to relationships, have clingy girls had it right all along? So basically, it's
What do you mean by clingy? Like
So-
stage 5,
That's
like
So like the girls who are playing games, and which by the way, I'm guilty of all levels of this. Like I've played games, I've been a clinger, I've done it all. But like if you just come right out and are like saying what you want and not trying to be small or be pick me or pretend playing it cool, then you'll actually get what you want in life.
it's yes, because that's just setting boundaries for yourself,
Oh.
knowing.
But
what
also,
you
it's like
want.
it's like let the person like say no and move on.
right.
The thing is, you
Yes.
get like attached to the idea of wanting it to be that person. So then you're like, I'll play all these games and I'll manipulate them. But if they don't like who you are,
There's
they
no
got
point.
to go. So you're just wasting time. But you have to go through it a million times.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this is a little bit like too broad to say, okay, all clingy girls have been doing it right. Because I've seen clingy, and that shit can get like scary.
This article,
I'm not looking right at you, Esther. What are you saying, Carlos?
just that this article says that true clinginess, like what's mistaken for being clingy, is actually just anxiety. So if you're just
Yeah.
like calling a guy, that's not even clingy, that the guy probably wants.
Right. I think I definitely have been at fault with playing the cool girl for so long that I abandoned my own boundaries, and because it's like even when I was younger, right? It was like you were very much rewarded for being one of the guys. It was
Yeah.
such a prize when a dude all of your boyfriend's friends were like, yeah, and no girls except like Annie,
Yeah,
no girls
yeah,
except
yeah.
Khalyla, she's cool. And it's like, actually, I don't want to be one of the guys. I want to be one of the girls. Like it was because I found myself like never truly being comfortable and always trying really hard to drink more, to know. They were like open with me about their secrets and infidelities, and I'm like, I don't want to be the.
She was always putting Gold Bond powder on her balls. It was like she was doing everything she
Everything
could
she
to fit in.
it. And after a while, I was like, I want to be little fragile girl. Like I don't want to be one of the guys. Like
Well,
I want to.
I don't fault you for that at all because even me, who I feel like I could literally be the face of clinginess if it were a brand, like that is just who I am.
Look at those little hands. Look at those little clingy.
Even me, like I have totally tried to play the game. I've totally like read all those like dating books and tried to pretend that I'm not obsessively dude, when I first start dating a guy, I literally would have to be like, keep it in your head, because when we're laying in bed together, I literally want to say, I love you, and I'm just like, say it in your head, don't say it out loud, which like that's probably a good boundary to have. So like there is a balance, but like just I think that it's not our fault that we've been trained to be like, gotta play it cool, like don't come on too strong.
You have been trained from movies. They're saying that in all these movies from the 2000s and 90s that being the clingy girl was not cool, and that Gen Z, there's a generational shift with it right now, and it's turning into lover girls, which is
I'm a lover girl. I think that now I'm at a different stage in my life where I really just want to present as me up front. Before even like when I met Bobby, it was always like, you're gonna drive to me, you're gonna do this, because I was just still playing the game of like, he needs to respect me, he needs to, but it's like, no, I'm a lover girl, I'm sweet, I say I love you maybe a little bit too soon because I feel my feelings very deeply and I get attached to people very quickly, and fuck it, if that's who I am, that's who I am.
Am I a lover girl too?
You're a lover girl.
Are you?
Yeah.
Listen, I anxious attachment style. Like that's a part of who I am.
Trying so hard not to be. It's like I can't tell you how many times I would just just try so hard to bro down, and I was just coughing down my emotions. Like I was just like shoving them down, just like, no, I don't like you. Sure, go out with her. I don't care. Just like crying. But I think I was really addicted to like the pining feeling because I think I didn't have to actually face my true feelings. I didn't have to be vulnerable if I was like the one that wanted them secretly. I was always like the Taylor Swift song, you know? I was always on the bleachers. And I'm like, but you belong to me. Like, I'm supposed to be the one, you know? And then in my head, I had some like romantic idea that we'd all like end up together at some point. Not all of us. I don't know why I made it sound like
but when
a harem.
So you're saying when you did that, it was almost like a form of protection.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to put yourself
Yeah. If I really like, what if I was like, no, I'm actually really into you. And they're like, oh, me too. Then I'd be like, what?
Wow.
No, I don't have to do that.
But isn't that all we've ever done, is to just do everything we can to like self-preserve? It's like we weren't guided, we weren't told, you know, like there was just no guidance in terms of like relationships or sex. So yeah, you just, you know, make all the mistakes you can and be called, you know, either you bro down or be called a crazy bitch. You had two options, right?
And my mom is like, she is like a bro down. Like she was on the men's racquetball team and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that legal?
yeah. Yes, it is. My mom was a pioneer. And,
Listen, guys,
Really?
I bro down so hard for a dude that I would watch. I accidentally became a huge fan of both the WWE and UFC. Like to this day, I don't miss a fight card. At like last Saturday, I'm alone in my room and on my iPad watching UFC, right? By myself, because I accidentally broed down too hard when I was 18. For a boy I really liked.
And it became a part of your identity.
And then now I was like, oh wow, it just became a part of me.
Now, when you say bro down, you're saying that is an example of you being a clingy girl, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Same.
And then he would say things like, yeah, dude, my girl's so cool. She watches fights with me. And in the beginning, I hated it. I'm like, I don't really care about, you know, Tank Abbott. But over time, I started to really care about Tank Abbott. And then I would go onto forums. I'm like, where's Tank Abbott now?
You need to like go like share this story with all the young women. Be like, you might accidentally start liking sports. You need to be careful, girls. This is a dangerous game.
And then when I was 26, I put in a submission. I think I tried to reach out to someone because I wanted to be Joe Rogan's sidekick. There's a guy named Mike Goldberg who did a wonderful job being he wasn't a color commentator, but he was on the side of the octagon basically. And for the longest time, I was like, I would manifest this in my head. I'm going to be that girl ringside. I'm going to do this with Joe Rogan one day. That's how hard I broke down. I had
looking
dreams
at Rogan the way he's looking at him. Imagine that's you gazing into Rogan, open mouth.
And I knew nothing about fighting. I don't fight, don't have a background in martial arts. Like I just thought in my head because I had fucking wanted to bro down so hard for this dude.
Was it your beautiful Asian eyes?
You know, I had...
Thanks, Annie, for noticing. They're a little cross-eyed, but...
I have had a policy, and I wonder, like, where it lands, if it's right or wrong or whatever. But, like, basically in middle school, I was dating this guy, and I was, like, stewing. I was, like, mad over something. I don't remember what, but I remember telling my sister, like, I'm so mad about this. Like, I just want him he needs to call me. And she was like, why don't you just call him? She's like, you're sitting here upset and angry and like you're just punishing yourself. Just call him and see what the deal is. And I was like, oh, you're right. Like, and so that really put me on the path of being someone that like speaks up and like reaches out, which I still can't tell if that's the right path or not. Maybe this article about being clingy is like saying it is, but then I've also sent really crazy texts to Dave, like in the first month of our relationship. But I don't know. Like the first month of our relationship, he went away for a weekend to a wedding and he didn't call me after a day. And I texted him my famous words, I guess this is the weekend we drift apart. And then 5 minutes later, he called me and said, what is going on?
And you're like, obviously nothing. That's why I'm obsessed with you. I love that guy you called is probably like watching this podcast going like, so it's her sister's fault. She's driving by my house every day.
No, that was a different guy. But
I do appreciate that. I think that the kind of man that would appreciate that kind of assertiveness and saying like, because the way I feel when I like someone, or at least now, my game plan is that if I like him, I'm going to say I like him. I'm not going to try to, play coy anymore.
Exhausting, yeah.
And if he is taken aback or uncomfortable with me just being like a little bit more assertive, then great. We don't have to date.
And it's not
fine. It's not for
yeah.
me. It's not compatible. I don't want to have to. It's exhausting to have to like figure out the chess game.
We're also like older, so it's like if you wait, he's gonna get married. He's gonna be married next month. You know what I mean? It's like you have not that if they're already dating someone or whatever, but you know what I mean? It's like people find their people, so it's like there's not like you don't have the time you had like when you were in high school or college to kind of play it cool. It's like,
and I feel like I have
TikTok.
Yeah, and then at this age, you have more of the tools now, so things can move a little bit faster.
And if a guy's my age and not ready for a relationship, it's like, go handle your demons.
Right, guys, I'm getting married. By that, I mean I'm getting married. But yeah, chess game, no more. I think it takes up too much of my brain cells. Don't have time for it.
I agree.
No, thank you.
Like, let's just decide, like, there's no time. We have fulfilled lives outside of, like...
Just get to the answer. You don't have to play, like, a whole fucking dance to get to, like the answer's the answer.
Yeah.
You know? Even the answer, I think that I used to do this, though, and with my anxious attachment, I would go on, like, one date with a guy, and then I'd want to know where he stood. And it's like, I didn't even like know where I stood yet. Like I needed to know what they thought of me before I could decide what I thought of them. And that's like so fucking unhealthy. And then they don't know, like if I don't know, they don't know either. It's like, I didn't give it time to like kind of like unfold. I just was like, do you like me or not? Like what's happening? You know?
What's crazy is how many like marriages and like babies get made in that stage still. Just like, what do they think? What do I think? You know, like not knowing, not being clear. I have to say that if I don't get a good night's sleep, I actually can't function the whole day. Like my day's ruined.
You can learn all the tools from therapy, from TikTok, from all the things in the world, but if you're tired, it's gone.
And if you're struggling to get a good night's rest or you just want to wake up more refreshed, you should check out the Sleep CBD solutions from Next Evo Naturals. Next Evo's precision formulations are backed by more scientific studies than any other CBD brand. So if you're someone who's been looking to get a more restful night's sleep with a natural approach, Next Evo's CBD products are definitely the way to go.
Honestly, it's been great for me because after I get off stage, like my sets are so late, I'm so hyper. The adrenaline's like running through my veins. I'm taking pictures with all you slugs. I'm having a great time. And then all of a sudden it's like, 1, 2 in the morning and I have to get up early. So it has just been amazing to just help me
wind down. Wind down. You guys wind down and get a better night's rest with Sleep CBD solutions from Next Evo Naturals. For up to 25% off subscription orders of $50 or more, use promo code Trash Tuesday at nextevo.com.
That's nextevo.com, promo code Trash Tuesday.
You guys, I cannot say enough great things about Native. Yes, I use not just their deodorants, I use their shampoos. I use everything Native. I'm a Native girl through and through. You've heard me talk about it, how much I love them. They are really, really, I'm somebody who just, like Annie, pits out. I'm never not sweating from my armpits. But guess what? I never smell.
With Native, choose from 10 scents, including their classic coconut and vanilla. And they have sensitive formulas that are formulated without baking soda. And they even have an unscented. And sadly, I am an unscented girl, and not a lot of brands make unscented. Like, I literally have to seek that out, and so I'm so glad Native does it, and they do it right.
I personally love their eucalyptus and mint, I believe, and I think there's another one. It's the lavender and rose. Oh, it smells so good for my pitties.
I'm OG coconut vanilla. I want to be a pina colada. I want to be an ice cream. I like smelling like ice cream, okay? That's my move.
Also, Native is now plastic free in their packaging, which is kind of unheard of for deodorant. It's so awesome. It makes me feel so much better about using it every day.
Are you guys ready to try plastic-free deodorant? Go to nativedeo.com/Tuesday or use promo code Tuesday at checkout and get 20% off your first order.
That's nativedeo.com/Tuesday or use promo code Tuesday at checkout for 20% off your first order. Definitely worth checking out plastic-free deodorant. It's just a nice way that they've made my life a little easier, a little less plastic.
Not knowing in that uncertainty really does drive like sexual energy, and I get that. That's why people who employ the tactic of roller coaster manipulation, which is something I just learned.
Yeah, can you explain
Which is
it?
like
What's that?
someone who it's a lot of times it's what maybe narcissists do a little bit, where the peaks are really peaky, but the valleys are very low. So it's like when you're in a valley, when the good times are really good, and then they take you back down all the way here, but you're already anticipating how good this is gonna feel. So it's like it's a way to manipulate someone to always sort of like hang in there. You could look it up, but
There are
Where they,
six
like, love
types
bomb
of
you?
emotional roller
But it's-
coaster manipulation.
Wait, look at this. Look how many tampons are coming on my purse. There's
Annie.
so many tampons.
Annie, you said there was a thing called an ultra.
I got an ultra tampon.
Have you
Sometimes
heard
it's
of
not
this,
enough.
Esther?
Look
Like
at
bigger
this.
than
I'm going to
Esther?
sacrifice one. Okay. Look how big this is. This is bigger than Esther's entire body.
Whoa, I'm impressed.
Wow.
And then let's wet it. Let's see how big it gets.
How many
I'm going to dip it in my, Diva cup.
hours does this
Good job.
last you?
what?
How many hours on your strongest day does this last you?
3.
Oh my
This is not because I have a big pussy, okay? It's a heavy flow. I don't want to be hearing no big pussy
It's
comments
like an
here.
NFL mouth guard.
Carlos, will you come suck this dry? Come on. If Khalyla holds it, it's just water.
Done.
Come on,
Did it.
Carlos.
Kick it up.
Wait,
I can't move.
Carlos, are you in
Carlos.
trouble with the internet today?
Yeah, actually. Oh, wait.
Do you want to come back? Do you want to get, this is your redemption moment. I don't know what happened, but this is the way out.
All right.
Khalyla, you have to hold it. You guys have tension.
It's like a mistletoe.
It's just water. You look dehydrated.
I am.
It's her
I can't wear this.
mistletoe.
They'll be ashamed of me.
Maybe wait,
Carlos,
maybe
it's
Khalyla
mistletoe.
should give you a sponge bath with it.
I said it's our mistletoe.
She's gonna.
It's her mistletoe. Take the hint.
I have to do bad friends after this.
Kiss
I'm gonna
her.
get killed.
Wait, no,
Wait,
kiss
wait,
me, not
what-
the tampon.
Kiss her
Oh, I
first.
thought I
It's a
was gonna-
mistletoe.
Oh, I
It's
thought
a
I-
missile camel toe.
Okay, here.
Hold on.
All right.
I went tight lip with it. You're so gentle and sweet.
Yeah, I was trying to be chill. Yeah, I'm not gonna like.
Wait, what do you mean? Did he try to make out with you?
I think so, because I did this.
It was gentle. It wasn't like aggressive or incel.
This is very aggressive. Your reaction. Look at the drip that's going down his head. Carlos,
Calm
you're
him
the
down
best.
with the female touch.
Here you go, Carlos. A
Can I
gift
use your
from
hand
me.
then?
It's better than having to suck it.
Yeah. Okay. You take that over there. Is there a trash can big enough for it?
Wow, Carlos, very soft.
Honestly, my only takeaway right now is I really want to borrow your jeans. They look so good.
Wait, I can put on.
Carlos, how did that feel kissing Khalyla? Those juicy lips.
Well, it goes well with how Andrew kind of spilled.
What's going on today? Yeah.
Well, Andrew was talking about his time on Trash Tuesday at Bad Friends.
Oh no.
And now everyone wants me fired, and
Well, we want you fired too, if that helps.
It's
Nobody
another
really wants
show,
you
though.
here. I guess George maybe wants you here. You're here for some reason. You didn't suck at the tampons. So.
And he's mad.
All right,
Okay, here we
for
go.
Khalyla.
Yeah.
Was there a little sexual tension in the room? There was. And you know who was between?
Who?
Khalyla,
And?
Carlos.
What the hell?
I have to say this too, right? I think that you're the reason why we're not together anymore.
There's been no sexual attraction between me and
I
Khalyla.
see you in the videos,
Wow. Hard.
Oh, I
dude. You
know.
ham up. You
saw the
ham it
video
up,
today.
bro.
I'm just at work. I'm trying to do a good job.
I know, but I've seen you on stage. You don't ham it up.
You are not trying to do a good job, by the way, Carlos. Where we know you're lying. Carlos took it from the Esther camp, where she's like, trying's gross. Ew.
That's so funny.
There is a thing now called silent quitting that I just learned about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that quiet quitting. I don't
Quiet
quite.
quitting.
You just don't do like the extra work. Like
Yeah,
you don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
You just-
Quiet quitting is called you're about to get fired. Like that.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. Not anymore. Especially not in the field of nursing because they are so understaffed everywhere. Go ahead and try and fire a nurse right now. She'll go get hired somewhere else. So it's like it's basically a nurse's perfect opportunity to set her boundaries, make sure that she's not getting freaking 8 patients to one nurse.
Good.
That she's getting the break that she needs.
There's so many
that
dead
she's not
patients.
being-
The
but
patients aren't. It's not that quiet because all you hear is beep. Wow, thanks, nurses.
But it's like always
Appreciate
that
ya.
there's a manipulation into trying to get them to do overtime to just go beyond what they're like humanly capable of doing. It's such a cost to their mental health. It's a fucking difficult job.
And I have to say, as someone who identifies as a patient, I want my nurses to have peace. I want them to just focus on only a couple
Then
of us
don't
at a
go
time.
to them. Then you are not the one for them, Esther.
Definitely, I respect nurses setting their boundaries, but if
Not when I'm the patient.
but if Carlos plans on quiet quitting, that won't go
I'm
as
not
well.
quiet.
Carlos quiet hired. Like Carlos, like what are we talking about here? Carlos gets so mad when we ask him to do something. Except he did give me my coffee. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Are you drinking a Modelo?
God, it's such a
Oh my God, Carlos!
Wait, Carlos should be the face of quiet quitting.
Wasted. Nobody said there's no drinking and podcasting.
that
This is not a normal job.
the Modelo looks like loud quitting though. That's as loud as you can get.
Did I ever tell you guys about when I got fired from working on Impractical Jokers? Did I tell you that story?
No.
Okay, so
But
it's so good. It's actually, you're going to love it. Okay, so I was writing on the show I was only supposed to do 3 weeks. Okay. I made it like a week and a half. It's like, how do you get fired from a job that has like an end date?
that's
So-
like soon.
It was like, it was insane. So, okay. So I get hired. I didn't really want to do it. I like the show and everything, but I just don't like doing writing jobs because I like to use my creative energy for myself. But Casey Jost was in it. Colin Jost's brother, who's so funny, was in the writer's room. This guy, Andrew Law, we were having fucking fun. And the showrunner, this was like, I didn't even know what a showrunner was, but the showrunner comes in one day, okay? And all of the guys are there, were having this like meeting, and the punishment, so how Impractical Jokers work is like they prank each other, and then if you don't do the prank, you have to like get a punishment. So the punishment was going to be that we were brainstorming was different tattoos that they would have to get. And the showrunner had worked on Jackass. So he was like, you guys should get a tattoo on your balls. I have a friend that got a tattoo on his balls and he got so much pussy from it. And I just went, I don't know. And everybody went like, what? And I went, no, I'm just over here working. No big deal. And they go, no, Annie, what were you saying? And I go, I just don't think anyone's ever been like, whether there's a tattoo or not, any girl's ever been like, hold that dick back. Let me get those balls. Like, I came to fuck you because of your balls. And so all the guys start laughing. And then the showrunner goes, get back to work. And I was like, ooh, I guess I'm in trouble. Who cares? So then 2 days later, I get called out into the, by the showrunner into the like other room. And he goes, I know you're on coke. And I went, what? Had been sober for 4 years. We had powdered donuts earlier, and I'm a pig, you know? So like there was just like powdered sugar all over my shirt, which is like, if I was on coke, like it wouldn't have dropped any. It was like all over me. And he's like, I know you're on coke. I thought I was being pranked because it's a prank show. So I was like, LOL, like what? And he's like, you're on coke. I know you're on coke. And I was like, I'm not on fucking coke. I go, oh, I know where you ate powdered donuts and I talk a lot. Like, I don't know what to say. And I went into the trash can, like pulled the donuts out. I'm like, I'm digging in the trash, man. But the reason that reminded me of it, because it's like, when was there an agreement that you're not doing coke in a writer's room, by the way? I wasn't on coke, but I was like, why would that even affect the writer's room?
It would actually be a sign of respect to the show.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get more done real fast, okay? Maybe all the pranks are about middle school, but who cares? But anyway, so then I ended up, he found some, like, he was like, we don't really like your writing. And they fired me like 2 days later. It's not about that. I go, it's about the coke. It's because you accused me of coke. Because I quit. I was like, I'm not coming back to the show because you just accused me of doing coke. That's insane. I was like, are you pranking me? He's like, I don't know you well enough to prank you. I'm like, this is the craziest thing in the world. I am not on cocaine. So then the guys like Q and Sal were like texting me like, please stay, don't quit. Like, and so I came back in, and then 2 days later, they were like, the guys don't like your writing. And I go, these guys? And I scrolled through and showed them all the things. And they're like, And then some kid from the production was like, I've always been a fan of yours. I was working on the production. I just want to let you know, this was like years later. He's like, that guy ended up getting fired after that season because of what he did to you. It was so fucked up. Like, we all knew it.
Oh my gosh.
But is that so funny?
Well, it's like
that I talk so much that someone keeps.
There's nothing about this in the WGA code of working roles.
I think
I can do coke if I want.
As your lawyer, I think we have.
No, but you know who my lawyer was back then.
Oh God.
And my lawyer was like, they were so gaslighty. They're like, it was probably your writing. I'm like, it wasn't my writing. I'm like, it wasn't my writing.
Oh my God. The fact that like all these people in entertainment have had this lawyer who literally is like, we hired, but is working against us.
I never hired him. He just started telling people he was my lawyer. I was like, all right.
Have you ever been fired, Esther?
I think I have actually quietly quit / gotten fired because when I worked at Press Juicery in West Hollywood, they just stopped putting me on the schedule.
Can I guess? Would you refuse to press? You're like,
there was a lot of like requirements to stand when the chair was right there, and I was just like, yeah.
For you to sit at your height, though, it's like it looks like no one's there.
So it was actually a real issue.
I had that happen at my pizza job when I was 15. They just like stopped calling me to come into work, and I never asked why.
Have you? I can't think of like a specific sit down and getting fired, but I'm sure there
worked
was.
at a place for one day, and I'm pretty sure it was. We looked each other in the eyes, and you're like, "Well, we didn't even. No one got fired, and no one fired anyone. I mean, no one quit, and no one fired anyone. We both looked at each other at the end of the day, and both knew no one was coming back. Like,
That's.
But then I still went back.
Were you wearing eye makeup?
My little Asian eyes were in full display that day.
I have been fired.
But then,
epically.
Do you think that it was right of me to go back and get my $68 check?
Yes.
Okay.
That's your money legally. If you didn't go get it, they'd have to send it to you. Like, that's yours.
It was at a shoe store too, and it just wasn't for me. I was just like putting sizes back.
You just have to have a foot fetish. That has to be the only reason you're doing that job.
And it was like a shoe store for like older Italian men.
You could have had a husband out of that.
Yeah.
You could have had a well-shoed husband. I got epically fired. I was working at this hotel called Hotel St. Francis in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I had worked at so many of the restaurants there. This was like, I was a cocktail waitress. And I liked the job. I had a couple different jobs in town, but I was like making bank, And 90 days, I didn't know I was on like a 90-day trial or whatever. So they sat me down like, we decided to not hire you after 90 days. And I was like making bank. I like couldn't understand. I was like friends with everyone except there was one bartender that didn't like me. And so I guess she just was like, I don't like working with her. So they fired me and I go, well, I was like so shocked because I was there like dressed, ready to work. So I was like, oh, all right. So I left and I went to another bar and I was like, I just got fired. And everyone was like buying me shots and stuff. And I was like, they're like, fuck those people. So we all went back like wasted. I brought like a wasted like bar of people back to Hotel St. Francis, like a fancy, nice hotel. And and we all like, all the girls started making out in front of all the security cameras and like showing our tits. My friend Julian was bartending. He's like, this is the best night of my life. And then they were just like laughing. And then the security guards were like, Annie, I mean, we have to tell you to stop, but this is awesome. Because I knew everyone. It was just so funny. But we just caused like a scene. Tits were out, tongues. Everyone was just hammered, fucking going 69 in. I was like, I dare you to fire me. They're like, yes, Annie, this is the behavior we fired.
I actually have a very like almost too soon to share story, but I got me and my friends kicked out of a nice hotel in Italy a couple weeks ago.
What?
And it was, I know I haven't even told you, Carlos. Like it was.
You are
You're
Bobby.
watching the news too loud. You're bumming everyone out.
Wait, you're just following after Bobby's footsteps yet again.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
He's been banned from a couple hotels in Hawaii.
Carlos
So-
is going to steal Dave from you now.
There was beautiful piano music being played, and I was drawn to it. We were sitting in this lounge in this beautiful bar in the Amalfi Coast and in a really nice hotel. And the pianist had like taken a break, and then my friend's sister went and sat down and she started playing My Heart Will Go On. And it was so beautiful. I couldn't help but like get up and start doing some balletic movement. And I thought it was going great. Like I thought I was killing it. I was just starting to really feel myself. And all of a sudden this Italian man in a suit marches over and he was so mean. He goes, too much. Out.
It's like not that mean. Esther's always like,
No, Annie, but in a foreign country, a man in a suit.
Also, she's fully feeling herself.
like you're so vulnerable.
She's the freaking prima ballerina at this point.
I'll just never forget this finger move.
were you like this or something when he did it?
I
Like
was
your
like,
leg up?
it was like way worse. It was like so emotional. And
Was
then
there a crowd gathering for you?
just like the group that I was with, and then I had to like look at all my friends who were cooler than me and be like, I guess we have to leave now. It was so shameful.
No, Esther, you're wrong. Okay?
Really?
Because this is what's good about you, is these moments where we're not sure how it's going to go. That's what's funny about you. You make the room to a point where you're like, is this bad or good what's happening?
right.
When we used to like attack people and ask them what they ate for breakfast.
Right,
like,
you don't know if they're
You're
gonna
like, are they going to be mad at us or not? It's like,
Sometimes it works.
it's
You're right.
pesty. It's like we're being pests and they're not sure if we're good pests or bad pests. But like, that's what was funny about when you were dancing when Natasha was singing.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like, we couldn't tell if Natasha liked it or not.
Yeah.
And you just kept going. And you were like doing it out of like a love for what she was doing. And it was,
feeling.
but it was like, it was the tension in the moment. And then it ended up being the perfect thing.
Okay, thank you.
I think maybe the results are never going to be medium. It's either
Yes.
you get kicked out or you have Natasha Bedingfield in love with you, right? So it's like one of the two. So she's maybe right. It's like it's always going to be an extreme outcome,
So it's a risk worth taking.
right?
But
Always.
I will say I was like, it was the first moment where I'm like, oh, we're not in Kansas anymore. Like, this is a foreign country. Like, they will ask me to leave. Like, I'm breaking cultural rules. I just felt really scared. Like,
Spirit moved you.
yeah. I mean, my heart will go on in an Italian, like,
Were they mad at your friend for playing the piano?
I don't know.
Like maybe it wasn't.
But I did try to blame her. I was like, she was playing My Heart Will Go On. Like, I couldn't control my body.
Was she good?
She was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guy just had to stick up his butt, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's just, meh.
Or-
I think maybe they just don't
had
want
to be
that. Yeah.
They don't want that.
They don't want that.
They're like, who is this young girl? Who's this tiny baby girl?
you guys ever find it tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode?
I work in it all the time because of the help I get from BetterHelp. I mean, it's like, you forget. You could just be mindfully going through life, just why am I so miserable?
And what I tend to do is I stay fixated on the problem rather than looking for solutions. I just stay there just like stewing over something instead of finding a way out of it.
Oh, totally. That is probably my number one issue, is focusing on a problem and not focusing on actually solving that problem. Like, that is, everyone I know, I think, suffers from that. And it really takes time with a therapist to work that through, because we just get in these loops in our head and we go round and round in the same thing over and over. And you need someone else's perspective to kind of help shift you away from that.
Yeah, I'm dizzy, guys. I'm done. Can we all just be done with it? Let's just stop the spinning. Let's just get the help. Let's just get better. Let's not wallow, just get the help you need. And BetterHelp makes it so easy.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy. It's super affordable. You can get matched to a therapist in under 48 hours. They have a really great journal feature. And if, let's suppose, the first therapist is not a match, they make it very easy to find another therapist.
You don't have to worry about feeling like you're rejecting anyone. This is how it works.
My life really did not improve until I started seeing a therapist. Like, I just can't say enough good things about therapy. I've worked through so many issues with my therapist. And I think if you're someone, especially who's thought about therapy, but has, been a little too shy, or, just had things get in your way, BetterHelp is definitely the place to start.
And when you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/trashtuesday today to get 10% off your first month.
That's betterhelp.com/trashtuesday.
Okay, so there's this theory swirling around on TikTok that the reason that Nick Cannon is having multiple babies at lightning speed is because he was diagnosed with lupus nephritis, which is a very insidious kind of lupus that attacks the kidneys, and that he's really just creating a kidney farm for himself should the time come that he needs a kidney transplant. What are your
I
thoughts?
like it.
I
like
instantly
it.
forgive him for everything.
I love it. She's like a fellow victim. Why do you think Esther hangs out with us? She's harvesting us.
Yes. Thank you for knowing and being okay with it.
You can have my spleen.
But it's like, and the other theory is like, he has twins with Mariah, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell she'd allow for one of her kids to give up a kidney to their father. So he's just going to harvest from one of his other 55 offspring.
And maybe he thinks the more he diversifies the mothers, then the better chances that the kidneys will work out.
Different matches.
Right. Because I think that there's a 50% chance that the child will inherit the genetics or or lupus. So in order to up his chances of kidney prospects, he would, like, if it's a 50% chance, having 2 more kids would mean you can only really get one of 2.
Wait.
But if you have 20, then you have 10 options.
No, now this is fucked up, because I do think if you're going to be one of these super producers where you make all these babies, it's like if you have genetic issues, like, that's not fair to all these kids you're making. Because did you guys see that documentary on Netflix about the doctor? Oh my God. The doctor who was secretly
inseminating all the eggs.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch a documentary, but I read about it when it happened.
I was getting my eggs at that moment, so I was like, I don't think it's time.
It is wild. There are so many people that he inseminated, and he had like some health problems, and so all these kids are like mad. Like, I mean, I guess it's such a weird concept to like be mad at the person. Like, you wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him. I can't even imagine getting into their heads and how to deal with that trauma, but it is fucked. Now I hate Nick Cannon again. That's the moral of the story.
I have another question for you guys. Speaking of lupus nephritis, so I think that it's like pretty well documented that Selena Gomez has something like similar where she's had to get a kidney transplant from her friend. Is it Raisa or Raisa? Right? It was like her best friend who gave up a kidney and gave it to Selena, but apparently there was like a rift of the friendship afterwards because Selena was, drinking and kind of like living her life after the person had already given her kidney with a new kidney. What are your thoughts on, let's say, for instance, you give a piece of your liver to somebody, and then because they're or else they wouldn't live to see the next 2 years, and then you see them start like partying, but now you're like,
It really depends on how much they paid me.
oh,
Are you
that's
paying
a
for
good
my
point.
silence? But I guess I don't know. I think once I give you a piece of me, it's yours. You do whatever
Right.
you want. I wouldn't police you.
No.
I know you, Esther. Don't worry.
If you have been given one of my organs, like we have strict protocol to follow. Like,
Oh my
Use it
God. That's
wisely.
why Esther wants to give you an organ.
yes.
It's like having a iPhone tracker. It's like having someone's location.
So you think you have a say in how that person lives because you're one kidney less?
Yes, I think that we have to come to an agreement beforehand, a prenup or whatever, and
Or pre-cut.
and there's going to be some rules, you know? Like, I think this is my one chance at really like making someone do what I say.
Esther's the only person that's like, if you're going to take my organ, you're taking my full body, and she makes you sew her to them.
We have to
You're
become
Siamese twins.
Yeah. I definitely think there would be rules, you know, curfew for sure.
What time?
9 p.m.
Sending in pictures of the outfits each day. Is this outfit okay?
Lights out at 11. Like, this is
No more showers, only baths.
maybe I need the reverse of Nick Cannon, and I just want to have a large group of people that I give some kind of organ to, and then they have to follow all my rules and play games with me. Maybe I should have kids. Is that where this is headed?
See, look at this.
Wow.
What a sweet friendship moment. But I guess I would be a little.
It would annoy.
I
me,
would
but it's
annoy
not.
me if someone was like going hard on the drink. I mean, I obviously don't know if that's true or if that's what happened, but like, you know, that's alleged, right? But I don't know. I think it would annoy me.
I think your initial reaction is the truest, most right one, which is like, when you give someone something, it's theirs.
Yeah.
It's over for you. Like, it's theirs, and you
There's
have
just you have no control
say.
over it. Yeah.
And like, I think if you're going to be a person who gives, unfortunately, you have to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Like when you lend people money, you're giving them money. You can't expect
Yeah.
money back.
That's the one thing my dad taught me at a very young age.
And about your beautiful Asian eyes.
Yes. But basically that if you are in a position to lend, like, and that person is in the position to even ask you, like, you're never going to see it back. Like, it's going to destroy a friendship if you think there's going to be a 3-week turnaround of getting your money back. And I don't know. I don't give unless I know I'm okay with never seeing it again.
I have to say that I have given real thought inside my brain that I would like to do a fecal matter transplant from a hot girl.
But why a hot girl? What if her gut biome is no good?
Well, assuming that that's what I want, like a hot girl who has like the perfect health, the perfect eating. Like, I would love.
That girl wants nothing to do with it. You know, she
But
wants not to be near.
I could get near her shit. Okay, that's what
And-
this is. I would literally get her shit and have it.
Like in one of Donut's bags.
They put it in those little poop pills. So you want to repopulate your gut with a hot girl's gut biome
Yeah.
or bacteria.
Does this stuff work?
It
fecal
does. So
transplants?
the fecal transplants work when they used to use it for this thing, or they still do, for this thing called C. diff, which is like a hospital acquired issue where it is like an overgrowth of bacteria in your gut that causes like intractable diarrhea, and really like it smells so specific. Like when you walk into a room with someone with C. diff, you don't miss it. You're like, that's C. diff.
I
That's C.
smelled
diff only.
a GI bleed once, and I'll never forget this.
That's a strange smell.
I'll
yeah.
never forget it.
Wait, what do you mean?
I had to go to the emergency room, and I went, what the hell is that smell? They're like, it's a GI bleed. You get used to it in here.
What is
Oh,
that?
crap.
What does it smell
It's
like?
a doo-doo-y smell. It's
Probably
it's a
the smell of
pungent-
like heme too. Like there's that kind of like rust smell if there's blood there.
What does that mean, a GI bleed?
It just means you have a bleed somewhere in your gastrointestinal tract.
It's poopy and bloody smelling.
So depending on where, like where you're bleeding, your poop looks a certain way. So if it's higher
My
up,
black poop's how we became
Yeah.
friends.
if it's higher up, then it's probably going to be black.
Wait,
But
is that what you guys call me, black poop?
You wish. Way worse.
But yeah, they used to, for C. diff, they would, I think they still use it. They use the
Whose
Poop pills.
cacas did they get?
Probably, I don't know.
Can you get like paid like the way you can go in for a sperm donor? Can
Oh,
you
we should
drop a
look
load?
into it. Should we try and donate our poop? I don't think mine's that great.
I don't think
lately.
mine is either, but I have a couple friends where I'm like, I think I would take theirs.
What about
I can't
them?
wait for the end of that friendship.
You're the donor
Where they're
requirement.
catching you.
Okay, here are the donor requirements, Esther. So no antibiotic exposure in the past 6 months.
Okay.
I'm
she's
out.
out.
I'm out because I had an
Me
ear
too.
infection. Is not immunocompromised. Is not at risk for infectious disease. What does it even mean? Does not live with any chronic gastrointestinal. I'm out. Gastrointestinal disorders. I have colitis. Will need to be screened for Hep. Yeah, obviously all the diseases and stuff.
Worms.
And that's the thing right there. They have to be
Worms, she's got
screened
one.
for C. difficile. And that's the C. diff I was telling you guys
Oh.
about.
See, I like the nickname C. diff.
Yeah, I think I'm not
Cute.
accepting any new people into my life unless they fit this requirement. I'm only accepting people whose shit
Can I
is
just say,
useful to
then
me.
you're fucked. You're fucked because I don't know a hot girl that doesn't have GI
poop
problems.
problem.
All Kim Kardashian, Kanye just said she's always on the toilet like with chronic diarrhea.
Khalyla, that was not true. Right, Carlos?
Yeah, I heard it was not. It was a hoax.
Okay,
Is it a hoax?
how? How is it a hoax?
I think like a fan made it.
Oh, it was a
and he
fake.
reposted.
Okay.
But hot girls are known to always have stomach aches.
What do you guys think about Ray J coming out on Kris Jenner about having 3 options of sex tapes? And then he pulled out the contract and stuff.
Let the man speak his truth.
Yeah, I think it's a weird. I think it's like we all kind of know
Yeah.
the truth, and it gets frustrating when people keep trying to hide stuff
Yeah.
because it's like, well, we're not. You're just treating us like we're stupid a little bit. But at the same time, like if that's the way you guys live your lives,
Isn't the price of certain type of fame though like, hey, you got to keep the secrets? And maybe he's like he's breaking that like
wait, I have
agreement to that type of fame that he was getting. Do you know what I mean?
well, somebody on TikTok, I don't know who, could have been Bethany Frankel on one of her tangents.
I love her.
But she basically said, here's a man who has to explain to his children why he's being called, what do you call it? Like a man who was exploitative of a woman. Because that's the narrative that the Kardashians even have run with, right? Like this was a leaked tape and it was leaked by Ray J. And so now he has children he has to explain that to. And if he doesn't feel like he was exploitative and it was something that they both agreed on, then yeah, he should be able to speak his truth if that is in fact what happened.
I agree. One thing I'll say that I feel like I've learned is you also truly never know what's going on. And like I don't know, but just because there's a contract doesn't necessarily mean that like it wasn't something that was unavoidable. Like who knows? Maybe like the tape was going to be leaked and they were like, we might as well put our best foot forward and reshoot it. Like I don't know, but I just almost like.
Are you upset that someone's like
saying something bad about Kim?
Well, I was saying that, but also that somebody's like showing a contract or like contracts are kind of my thing.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I've had contracts before.
But no, it is scary to think like, because on the other end, it's like, if I'm having someone work for me or whatever, like they do need to sign an NDA. But it's like, are they going to then post the NDA and go, look, I had to sign this NDA type thing?
Right. And they could do that. And then.
Not that you're going to catch me doing anything I haven't already said I done.
Banana break.
I'll try banana break.
By the way, someone could literally just post an NDA from you and think about what people could make up in their heads from just that.
A forced fecal transplant. I shoved my poopy into their butthole.
Like my thing lately is just you have no idea what people are going through or what they have gone through. Like look at Shia LaBeouf. He was enemy of the state, like enemy number 1 for years. And then he came forward with like that really, I thought, eloquent email to Olivia Wilde saying how he's working on himself similar. Like he has to explain to his children things like, and he's putting in the work. And it makes me go back and think like, God knows what child star Shia LaBeouf turned massive movie star, like who knows what kind of trauma that guy has been put through, what he's dealt with. Like,
it certainly doesn't excuse his abuses, but that's why I asked
Sure,
you guys
yes.
last time. It's like,
What were his
what is the redemption arc for somebody like this? How much of forgiveness do we offer someone who just years ago, FKA Twigs said, you know, wanted to kill her, basically? You know what I mean? So it's like, here's a guy who was accused of not only sexual assault, of fucking being like slightly homicidal towards this other woman. Like, how much grace do we offer when they're on the path, they're on the correct path to getting better?
But also, we don't know him, so how are we forgiving someone?
What are you talking about? I swim with them all the time. I do.
Do you? Oh, you know him?
No, I don't.
Oh.
He's always on the opposite lane. There's
he a
one
slug?
pool I swim at.
no, well, thank you for pointing that out, because you're right. I don't know him, and I don't know what, I actually am not educated on like what his accusations are and his abuse and stuff, but I am more looking at it from a place of, honestly, Jeanette McCurdy's book coming out and just shining a light on how traumatic her upbringing was, and seeing like we have no idea what these people went through when they're
Right.
child stars, or anyone who like was in the limelight. Like, we just don't know. And I personally feel like I want to give grace to that.
I do too. And that's exactly why I'm saying this. It's like, I'm always caught between even the abusers in my life, I'm always like, you know, for a long time, I was like, they should never work again. They should do this. That doctor should never do this. But like, if I'm granting myself the grace to change and evolve as a human, to, you know, to be kinder, to be a better person, like, shouldn't I offer or extend that same?
Yeah, but the
to-
doctor who fingered you shouldn't be fingering. They can't really
You're right.
like, you know, it's like, it's hard because like with my teacher, I remember when I first like told, like went to the cops and everything after my teacher molested me, I got all these calls from his wife that were like, well, at first it was like, you fucking bitch, blah, blah, blah. And then like the next day he went to jail for one night, and she called and she was like, you know, we realized since he went to jail, like he was molested too. And I kind of was like, I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't excuse the
Yeah.
abuse. at
I
all.
go,
It doesn't.
I don't give a fucking shit. He just
Right.
jerked off on me. I'm
Right.
a kid.
So like, I want to be clear on that. Like,
Yeah.
at no point are you or any
But-
of us like excusing
But
someone's bad behavior.
everyone has
Yeah.
like whatever their life is. You know, they have whatever they were given, whatever they happened to them.
Let's
whatever.
paint that scenario. Let's suppose some, like a comedian that you know, say for instance, has been accused of sexual assault.
I can't
of
imagine
being-
it. It's too hard. It's too much of a stretch.
Like just being like chronically a shitty guy to young women.
Yeah.
Being a sex addict, being a cheater, just bad abusive sexual practices, emotionally abusive, all of the above. But then you see that not only has he gone to SA meetings or SLA meetings, now he is in therapy. He's doing all of the work you can possibly think of to try and see the error of his ways. And-
But then you hear rumors that it's still going on. And he's still doing it. Other stuff.
Okay, but let's suppose that's not the truth of
Okay.
it. And let's say like you see him just really like coming out of it with clarity and being like, oh, like I fucked up. It's just a hypothetical. Like, where do we stand on that? Are we still trepidatious? Are we like, I don't trust this person? Or are we like, okay, I thank you for doing the work. You have a long way to go. Like, where do we stand on that?
Yeah.
Um,
I think there should be a path to redemption,
Yeah.
of course, like if people want to, but it's also like, this is all like public opinion. So it's like, we're not really supposed to be in front of all these people, having all these people decide who we are and what we are. Really what it is like, this is a fucking individual's game. This is a solo game. Okay. We have our relationship stuff, but this is our life. This is our world. This is our view of things. So like, it's my job to get better. It's my job to be the best version of myself. It's not my job to cast judgment on other people. And as someone who has had so many traumatic events as a kid and had to go to court and stuff, I do have a tendency with my PTSD to get hypervigilant. That is not my job. My job is not to fight for everyone else. My job is to fight to have the best life,
right.
to shine the most light, to be my best version of myself. And if that like rubs off on other people and they want to do it too, that's what I can. And I fuck up all the time. I could be mean and shitty and you know, like self-absorbed or whatever. But it's like, I can't like, I had to like unfollow all of the people that we're hypothetically talking about, because I would get triggered like seeing them, and I'm like, I don't want to get, this is like, I have to like release myself from the responsibility of this.
Right.
And I do, and I hope that they get better, but like it's not my business. And I like, I forgive my teacher in the sense that like I release him from being attached to my life, but I think he's a fucking asshole, and I don't believe he's doing better. Did you lose an earring?
No, I think I've always just had one this whole time.
Carlos?
They didn't come off in our makeout sesh.
Carlos,
check the
lover.
tampon. Pull it out of the trash. Suck the tampon. Make sure there's not
Suck it out.
Make sure there's not an earring in there.
I have to say that something that changed my opinion on all of this, I think maybe for the better, was when recently I've been canceled on Latin TikTok for saying beans are for ugly people. I made this TikTok video.
Oh my God, you're the Chrissy Teigen of 2022.
Yeah, I made this video like as I do, saying like what foods are for ugly girls, because it's just obviously it's satire. I'm being silly, and like I will never apologize. But so many people attacked me for it, calling me racist. They called me Gru. They called me all these really mean insults.
What's Gru?
It's like an ugly character from
Despicable Me.
Yeah, I guess I look like.
You look like Groot. Is that the name of the
Groot the tree?
This is who they called me. So
oh my God, that's so cute.
But I was just like being attacked on a massive scale.
That's so funny.
But knowing that I did nothing wrong, and I stand like I'm not standing down. Like this is, in fact, there was a moment where I almost posted a TikTok that was like, I demand an apology from you for being too stupid to understand what comedy is. But
that's literally my experience on TikTok. It's just people like not taking everything you say completely seriously and being so mad at you. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then stitching it with their own righteous, sanctimonious little.
Oh, the amount of times I was stitched and people went off in Spanish. I'm like, guys, I don't even know.
We need to get Ben Affleck to translate it.
But like, it was so absurd. And there's all of these people though that really think these horrible things about me are true. And I'm like, I'm not, it's not my fight. I'm not getting into the fight with them.
Yeah, don't get into the water. Jim Fortnoy says that don't get wet with people.
Yeah.
If they're getting in the water, you don't have to get in the water.
Too bad for us, Carlos.
It's too hard.
But then it's like, oh, are these people never gonna forgive me? And it's like, okay.
They probably didn't like you to begin with. They probably didn't like you.
So imagine this, right? Just zoom out. Everyone is having this really heated discourse about beans.
Yeah.
Like that's, if you zoom out, it's comical.
And
how unimportant the conversation is. Only because it's like, here's tiny little Esther saying beans are for ugly girls, and everyone getting their fucking panties in a bunch over it. It's like,
when you eat a lot of beans, you don't want your panties in a bunch, okay? You're gonna get skid marks. You want to be careful.
Yeah, it was just, I have no defense, because it's like, I would have to write like a 10-page essay.
It's not, you know your intentions.
Stupid.
You know your intentions, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. It's like, that's the trap I think social media gives you, where it's like, you think you just move forward.
But that was, you're right. And that was almost a big lesson for me of like, wait, I never have to explain. I never have to apologize. If I know who I am, like I only have to worry about that.
It's tempting. I read some comments. I was saying this earlier. I read some comments where this girl's like, Annie keeps saying her boyfriend's Asian. She's fetishizing him. And it's like, if you see my act on the road, it's like, my whole point is that like Asian men have been like desexualized, and I'm trying to like be like, date Asian men. They're fucking incredible. Like, I love my boyfriend. He's awesome. Like hello, like, but it's like, but me even saying this is me like,
getting in the water.
I'm getting in the water. So I'm not in the water, but.
Yeah, but also it's like, thank God, please fetishize more Asian men. They are so fucking hot.
My boyfriend's so hot. I love him.
Also, it's like for the history of just Asian women being exoticized. I hate that fucking word. Or there's such a, you're right. I 100% agree
Right.
with you. Everyone go fuck
And
off.
also his culture like does come into the conversation. Like his mother is Asian as fuck. Like I'm having an Asian mom experience when I'm going to his house.
Yeah, and
it's not like a regular mom.
it's a
I'm
joy.
sorry.
It's literally
I'm not being racist. I'm literally basking in the rice soup of the life of having
Lugo.
You're making
I'm so
observations on your life experience. Like, I'm half Jewish. I talk about Dave being Jewish. I'm like, my older Jewish fiance. Like, does that make me racist or fetishize? Maybe it is, but
Look,
Esther's fetishized, okay?
I will say this about beans, though. I will
Okay.
chime in that my body has recently rejected beans. I love beans so much, and it's a very inflammatory food for me, and I feel like my throat closes up a little bit.
What she's trying to say is her body is hot.
So basically,
My body identifies as a hot girl.
yes, that's exactly where I was going with it. So basically, does that mean I am gradually getting hotter, Esther?
I really like you without the eye makeup, honestly. You look pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
You are
you're getting
fetishizing
hotter.
Asians.
You're getting
it's
hot.
happening.
Um,
I would just say that, look, I've created a little world on TikTok where I decide what things are hot and what things are ugly, and it's just silly fun times.
And you know what you did? You entertained all of these people who are bored that are now yelling at you.
Thank you.
You gave them something to like feel about.
And if you guys are questioning it, I say go watch the video for yourself and see what you think. If you think it's a serious act of hate, or if you think it's just a girl like me that is silly.
And while you're there, follow me. I have no followers. I've been trying to not bring this up because it's actually kind of like, you know how I try not to watch any Netflix like food documentaries or anything because I hate like taking on the new food narratives and stuff. I hate like all of a sudden you watch a thing, you're like, I gotta be vegan, I gotta do whatever.
Yes.
I just randomly went down a carnivore diet hole. Okay. And I listened to 1 hour of a podcast about carnivore diet. And I got convinced that plants are poison and they're trying to kill us. And that salads are literally shaving 30 years off our life and that we're supposed to be living for 120 years. And that we're supposed to just eat steak like all day. And it's the scariest thing that's ever happened. to me.
well, Joe Rogan did the carnivore diet.
He's
and
on
he
it now.
said he had, well, yeah, because he's trying to, it's a very quick way, obviously, to like lose weight because it's basically Atkins or keto, right? But he says that he had like diarrhea for a whole month.
Yeah, you get like diarrhea from it. And then, but you can get scurvy. Like, how are you? I'm surprised you're pooping with it at all. But it was so convincing. Like, I realized like in 1 hour podcast, I can be convinced of anything. Like, it was like, they're like, vegetables don't taste good because they're not supposed to be eaten. Like, the vegetables are poisoning because they want to survive. They're like,
That's just part of the vegetable. I'm sorry. There are a lot of raw vegetables that are fucking delicious.
I mean, I'm
Like
scared
seeds,
of
yeah.
them. I'm
Seeds.
scared of salads now.
What? But like dark leafy greens are supposed to be like the greatest thing we could ever
Not-
eat.
All right,
all of
enjoy
them.
dying at 90 like a young spring little thing.
There are some parts of that I would have to like
whippersnapper.
agree with. Like certain foods are so like depends on your body. Certain people swear by things like broccoli or very like that shit fucks me up.
Oh.
Onions fuck me up. So it's like
Yeah.
as much as I like the taste of it, I know my own gut and
Yeah.
it wreaks havoc.
No, my body will be very loud about it. I would say like you
I
have two
don't
pieces
like
of broccoli and you have those like farts that are sharp. You're like, oh. They come with corners. You're like, ow. Ouch. What was that?
So would you even dip a toe in? Like, are you that far along?
Okay, wait. The day I listened to that, I ended up like eating like eggs and like ground beef for breakfast. And then by lunch, I was like, I want a salad. I want a salad. It's like my whole life they convinced me to eat
So
salad.
you have to forego anything but meat.
Yeah.
Oh no, thank you on that. No,
I just
thank
don't
you.
like, and then they're saying that like high cholesterol being bad is a myth. I'm like, can you guys do this for like 100 years before you bring this to me? I'd like to see someone live to 120. It's just so scary.
Yeah,
I know
that-
Michaela Peterson's on it and Jordan Peterson's on it. A lot of the Rogan people are on it. But what they said started to make sense to me. I was like,
Look, I can see this for like extreme rapid weight loss because essentially
No, this is like a lifestyle. This is supposed to be like forever.
Not
yeah, but
even-
obviously Rogan is not on it until he has to do like sober October and like do like the weight loss competition with Bert and them, right?
I talked to him. He said that he only eats meat and some fruits.
And some fruits.
That's all he eats?
That's why he's not lean though, or anything like that.
But something happened at the UFC fight.
Ew, judging.
Oh, wait, Carlos is.
Oh, I am judging.
Carlos versus Rogan.
Wait,
When it
wait,
comes
wait.
to food, I fucking win that battle.
Woo! Wait, Carlos, what is your opinion on this meat diet?
I think for guys, I was just in Texas and all the guys eat meat like for 2 out of the 3 meals, if not all 3. And all the guys are like way bigger than me. And it's just not the look I want. Like, I don't think it adds to health when you're 40. I also want like girls to like me. I don't want to look like the other guys. So
That's
Carlos
why
is
you're
a
growing
pick
your
me.
hair.
I'm not like other guys.
I think I recently started learning about cycling your workouts according to your natural, like your menstrual cycle, and when to do like HIIT training according to where you're at in your like follicular phase, luteal phase. And I'm gonna start doing
Is
that. It makes sense.
follicular when you pull the tampon out and it flicks onto the ceiling and you go, ooh, how did that
No, it's when you flick Khalyla's tampon.
Because
over.
think about it.
dirty, bloody puss.
It's like even the carnivore diet, right? Like I wonder how it takes into account the fact that like
the period.
our
yeah.
periods change. Like even intermittent fasting, and people are like, I swear by it. It's like, no, the woman's body changes so drastically
Yeah.
day to day. You cannot tell me that eating 8 hours, 8-hour window of time when I'm fucking, fully premenstrual I don't feel good.
Yeah. Do you know what also really scared me? The thing that scared me the most about it, because I was going on Reddit and like seeing like what different women said. They said that when you go on the carnivore diet, your lower body fat gets like really like soft and mushy. And I was like, I don't want
No.
that. That made me feel like, no.
Why? Ugh.
I don't know.
Okay, this is weird. Like, because I too have been learning about like your cycle, and this is the analogy that comes up for me. So picture how you wake up. Picture a day in your life, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you're tired, you need to have your coffee. Maybe you get a little morning burst of energy, and then you're hungry. It's lunchtime, and then it's afternoon. Blah blah blah. You go through the cycle of a day, right? Get tired at night, go to sleep, start all over again. That's literally our month. Our month is like the first week is like the morning, it's just, it's so hard for me to process this. Like we are literally running on monthly cycles. I know we've always known that, but I just never realized how different you feel and how different you are emotionally, physically throughout different days of the cycle.
No, I don't know I'm a girl until I'm bleeding on a couch. I go, oh
Right.
shit, I forgot.
So much, so much so that men don't even have to consider that their body temperature drops at any point in the month. Like
Yeah.
ours does. And the fact that we are, we run hotter certain times of the month, that we're already burning more.
Doesn't it make you
certain times of the
sleepier
month.
if you're hot? Is that what it is?
Well, I think that like closer, like when you're ovulating, you should avoid like hot yoga, extreme, like overly like sweaty things.
yeah, can
because
we
your
get,
body's
let's
already-
like learn the actual things.
to do HIIT training and to do more like, so when your estrogen is completely down, which means like the week of your period is when you're most like a man hormonally. So they say that's when it's okay to be doing more hardcore, like, HIIT training, like high intensity interval.
Oh my
training.
God. That's when you do it and then just the tampon flies out.
I will say that I have a hack for if you want to work out according to your cycle, and it's that
Only walk. and
Yes.
Don't do any other exercise.
I will never do HIIT training during any part of my cycle, so I'm safe.
She's
But
scared
then
of being hit, trained.
But your favorite guy of all time, Dr. David Sinclair, says you have to do HIIT training once in a while. It's HIIT training, occasional fasting, what is it? Sauna, cold plunge, and I don't know what the fourth thing is.
Can we get a Trash Tuesday cold plunge and sauna, please?
Can we get
I don't have a backyard.
Can we get he would never do our podcast, would he? No, I shouldn't say that out loud.
Everyone will
Can-
do our podcast. Anybody we want.
Can we get him?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
David Sinclair on our podcast.
Yes.
Carlos.
Carlos, get on it. I have so
What
many
if we did like a
questions.
monthly like medical one? We could have like the egg doctor on one episode, you know?
Well,
like-
I am more desperate than anything in life to have Dr. Drew back on the show.
I know. Oh my
We need
God.
him.
That was the most soothing day of my life.
I had a dream that Dr. Drew was like wanted to like hang out and like chat, and I was like so excited, and things kept happening. Like I kept going to like the wrong restaurant, or like there weren't enough tables or something, and I was like, I was like so desperate for Dr. Drew.
Annie, I'm concerned about your dreams lately. It's like it seems that you're always in the place you want to be. You're finally getting to the place you want to be, but you're in
I can't
that
reach
place.
it.
You can't reach it.
Oh, how about okay? So I told you I relapsed on true crime.
Oh,
I started watching frogging, a new thing that I now need to worry about, where people hide in your attic and live in your house and frog you. So then I had a Frogger dream where this old assistant that I had.
I feel like this is a career path for you.
I was just thinking, like, wait, who has an attic in this
It's
room?
it's the scariest thing in the world.
Whoa.
And so like I had a dream where this girl was like frogging in my house, and it was so and then I was trying to get Todd up. I was like to tell him, and my voice wouldn't work.
What does the frog do? Like, what is the point? What
One
thrill do they
guy,
get out of
okay,
it?
so there's this whole series I saw. I don't know if it's like on Lifetime. It's on one of the true
It's on
crime ones.
Lifetime.
Okay, and it's like one of the episodes was this guy was like stalking this family, and he had all these plans of he was gonna like chop them up and turn them into like half lizard people or
it's
something.
homicidal
What?
then.
Yes, it's way scarier than someone just.
I
needing a
thought
place
maybe it
to
was
stay.
just the hobby of like being in a place you're not supposed to.
And
getting
some
a
guy
kick
was
out of
like
that.
was like a cross dresser, was like dressing in these girls' clothes. And you know what it is? This is why you can't believe in ghosts, okay? A lot of the people were like, it must be ghosts. It's like, no, there's a motherfucker living in your goddamn house. Okay? It's
That
not a
is the
fucking ghost.
great
Stop believing in
takeaway.
ghosts, okay? Let it become a ghost after the cops have come and caught the frog, okay?
That is such a good
Because listen, I've kissed some frogs. I do not want to get chopped up by a frog and turned into a serpent person, okay?
I told you I dated a boy named Froggy. He wasn't very cute, but he was very fast. He was a very fast swimmer, so that's big bonus points in my book. Anyway, shout out.
The New York
Froggy.
Post
I
has-
still love you. What?
There was some frogging not too long ago. This
What?
couple had this guy in his house, and they said he wanted to play doctor on them.
I think that might be the one I saw.
Esther, of all your famous hot friends, whose house would you frog?
Well, Whitney's would be the easiest. Whitney
How
would,
long before she catches
I
you?
could live in Whitney's house the rest of my life and she would never know. I'm convinced. I could live there.
But one of her dogs would find you.
That would,
They would just bite her again. It wouldn't.
by Whitney.
Whitney would be in the hospital again, handling a bite.
I think me and Annie could live on Whitney's house and grounds forever and no one would ever know.
Her chicken. Whitney got me into chicken chips. They're chips that are made of chicken. They're so good.
Is it not like chicharron?
No, they're literally like potato. They're like I guess yeah, those ones.
Wow.
There's a chicken and waffle one that's pretty damn good.
Oh my God, chicken
that
and
one.
waffle. How exciting.
It's so good.
But realistically, I think I would like to frog in my parents' attic or crawl space. I think that's what's next.
But then
for
you
me.
would have to take care of yourself. That's the problem.
Oh, because they wouldn't know I'm there.
Yeah.
What do they subsist on while they're frogging up there, Annie? Like, what are they? Have they already brought their?
Well, when you leave, they
provisions?
Just go, no, they
Oh.
just like I think they eat your stuff.
Wait,
do
no,
stuff.
I think I figured it out. I live in the attic, right? And then at night, my parents go to sleep, and then I come out, I watch TV, I have a snack, and then I can just leave my mess out, go back in my attic, and then when my mom wakes up in the morning, she'll clean up my mess, and she'll just do it without. It's such a habit to her. She won't even think about where the mess came
Make
from.
it look like the dog did it.
Yeah, I'll shit on the
Just
floor.
push everything on the ground. Yeah.
So they think Pepper had a crazy night. You guys, another chaotic day in our lives.
That's right, baby.
You guys, thank you so much for returning again and again to the 3 old sperms that would be nothing without you. We will see you guys next motherfucking Tuesday.